All right, welcome to Chair Yoga for the care of Waldenstroms. I'm here with a hearty group of 20 people from all over the world, and you who are watching the recording also here in our space, holding space for you. And folks coming to our class today for a variety of reasons and with a variety of things going on. Some of us are just here for movement, to be part of a community, to just get an overall workout, and some of us are here maybe to get a little recharge of energy or to address certain issues in the body, maybe lower back issues, need to stretch, right? We just need to stretch our bodies. So today we're going to be doing an overall sort of head to toe recharge, and then we'll also focus a little bit on balance, and in particular the flamingo pose, which is something that we do almost every single class, but I wanted to sort of focus on this pose a little bit more because it comes up in a number of studies, a number of research studies show that that success in the flamingo pose may be a predictor of various things. One of them is longevity. So we see a research study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine just right recently in June 2022. They had 1,700 people standing on one leg for 10 seconds and seeing how many of them could do that. 20% of them failed, and they followed those people up after 7 years. And this is a little depressing and doesn't apply to our group, but those who had failed the test were 85% more likely to have died than those who had passed. So I give this to you with a big disclaimer that this study did not account for a variety of nuances that were likely to affect those results, like how many people with medical issues, you know, maybe haven't been able to stand on one leg for 10 seconds, but will have a long, lots and lots of years. So just a little bit of information about flamingo pose. Another study that used that pose, published in the Journal of Orthopedic Science, concluded that performing this exercise had many benefits, including preventing falls and an overall improvement in independence in daily living. But my favorite thing about flamingo pose is that flamingos are really cool. And they can stand on one leg without any muscular output at all. They're kind of like a flamingo lollipop, meaning the leg is in the very center of the body weight. And when you see the joint of the flamingo, that's actually the ankle, not the knee. The knee is tucked up in the feathers. And so they have very little, they can actually fall asleep standing on one leg. Now, we are not going to be attempting that today, but we will get together and be a group of flamingos, which is called a flamboyance of flamingos. So I'm hoping we can achieve a little bit of balance work today. Thank you for listening to my long intro. Let's get started. I just would like to start right away with some movement. I'm going to inhale my arms up about halfway and exhale, float my feathers down. Inhale, arms rising up halfway. Exhale, arms coming down. Breathing in, maybe the arms come up a little bit higher and float their way down a little bit lower. Breathing in, arms rise. Breathing out. All of this space around me is my self-care space today, my space in which to take care of myself and whatever I might need. And if there's something that does not agree with me in this class, I will modify it or skip it altogether or just practice it in my head mentally. I'm going all the way up with my arms as far as feels good to me, inhaling. And now I'll bring my hands to heart center. Breathing in, out and up. Exhaling, hands to heart center, welcoming you, Joe, as you get settled, and Marnie. Breathing in. Breathing out. Connecting with our Waldenstrom's community is such a rare disease that we might not get to meet anyone with our disease in real life, unless we go to the Ed Forum. So being in this trusted group of friends can be in and of itself therapeutic. Here you are with a bunch of other people who share your rare diagnosis and who may share the struggles that you go through. Reaching up and grabbing a little slice of that community and bringing it into your heart space. You could close your eyes for a moment. Closing your eyes, feeling your feet on the earth. We're going to take a breath in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. Breathing in. Breathing out, feeling the press of palms at heart center. And just sending out those tendrils to one another, tendrils of support. We can check in, we can connect with each other. You are not alone. Drawing up nourishment on the inhale. Sending out support on the exhale. You are a very important part of our community. Can you take 3 more breaths at whatever pace feels right? And then we're blinking the eyes open, interlacing the fingers, squeezing the hands. And maybe pressing the palms away, just juicing up the fingers. The arms don't have to be straight, but I'm looking towards straightening the arms if that would feel okay. You got it. And then we're going to lift both arms up, however high is doable for you. And I'm releasing those arms down at my sides, grabbing onto part of my chair, doesn't matter where. And I'm going to be lifting my heart, squeezing my shoulder blades, and arching my back a little bit. Can you take a breath into the chest? Exhale. Good. A little bit of back bending here, a little bit of spinal extension. Wonderful remedy for fatigue. And we love to move the spine in all directions in every one of our movement practices. Beautiful. Coming back and releasing out of that. Let's take care of some of the typical spots where we experience tension, the head and the neck. So I'm going to just move my head from side to side. I'm tilting that right ear to the right shoulder. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, left ear, left shoulder. And I'm moving at my own pace today. And I can always stop and just listen. So we're just getting started here, warming up the body head to toe. Breathing in, breathing out, getting ready to be flamingos in a little bit. And several of you are wearing a bright colored reddish pink shirt today, which is perfect. Thank you for that. I'll take one more little neck tilt on each side. And we're coming back to center, and then let's go ahead and bring that right arm out to the right. Lots and lots of space between the fingers, as much as you can muster. And I'm going to tip my fingers back towards my face. So I'm getting a really big wrist stretch here. Can you feel it? And then we'll breathe in. Make a fist around the thumb. Exhale the knuckles down. Big stretch. Breathing in, lifting up, spreading the fingers. And exhaling, knuckles down. And taking one more big stretch, hands wide. And knuckles down. Yeah, make any modifications. I'm going to keep my arm lifted, tilt my left ear away from my arm, And just relax that left shoulder for now. I'm going to circle my palm. And again, I'm setting an intention for my space here. Maybe I can imagine these little circles that move downward are sort of accentuating the environment. Here's my peaceful environment I'm creating for myself today. Tucking my wing behind my back and spinning the chin down, a couple of easy breaths. Can you relax and soften both shoulders and the jaw? All right, coming back up, just comparing sides for a moment and wanting to get synchronized here. I'm going to stretch the left arm out, lots of space between the fingers, and I'm still sitting upright, nice and upright. My head is upright for now, and I'll make a fist around that thumb, drop it down. You got it. Inhaling, lifting, spreading. Exhaling, knuckles down. So we're doing a lot of things today that are just good for overall movement, moving the lymph fluid, moving the blood. These could be good for osteoarthritis and peripheral neuropathy, these exercises we're doing. Now I'll keep my arm lifted, drop my right ear towards my right shoulder. That right shoulder is relaxed as I make those little circles, setting my intention for my space, this boundary of my space, my time. I'm here just to take really, really good care of myself today. Arm moving downward and finally tucking your wing behind your back. And I don't know, we're theming this towards flamingos today. I learned that they're that color because of the carotene in the diet from shellfish, which I thought was really cool. So when they're born, they're actually white. Coming back up out of that and feeling both wings, lifting both wings out to the sides. I guess we'll just go with the wing thing. I'm going to bring my wings back, lift my heart, undoing the rounded posture that happens over time. And then I'll bring my arms forward, interlace, pull the arms away. And underneath the wings here, we can create a little space. Inhaling, opening wide, welcoming whatever is coming my way. Interlacing the fingers, pulling the arms away. And several of you talking about turning age 77, which is such a cool number, such a cool age, and being grateful every day for being on the planet. And that's very inspiring to me. So again, we'll press those palms away, juicing up the joints. Feels different the second time around. I'm going to lift my arms up. And this time, with a little bit of a wider stance, I'm just going to move my body from side to side. Right? If this does not feel right to you, you can change it up. We're just going to do one more on each side. Coming back to center. Arms out to the sides, and I will give myself a big hug for coming to class today, tucking my chin, sighing it out my mouth, and then releasing and maybe taking a little sip of water if I have something nearby to sip on. You notice I did bring my singing bowl, so we're going to close our class with the singing bowls. And just a reminder, we will have a sound meditation later this week. I've got my wide stance, and I'm going to begin to circle my torso. Loosening up my lower back, maybe even getting a little bit of movement in the hips. Right? So if this feels really tight, you can just do a small circle. Right? If you get dizzy easily, you can do a very small, subtle circle. Coming back the other direction. Just stop when you're ready to stop, and we'll come back to the side bending. But I first want to kind of focus the breath a little bit. So I'm going to slide my right hand up to my right rib cage. We do this every once in a while just to remind us where the breath lives. I'm going to lean over to the left, and I'm going to see if I could fill up my right rib cage with my breath. Maybe I can feel a little bit of movement. Breath coming in, breath coming out. My right arm is relaxed as I breathe in. Breathe out, getting some space between the ribs. Good, and then we'll do that on the other side. So leaning over, sliding that left arm up the left rib cage. See if both arms can be relaxed here as we breathe into that left hand. It's nice to have the hand there for feedback. So awareness of the ribs for breathing, and you can keep doing it like that if that feels good, or you might want to try lifting the whole entire arm up, reaching over and really extending through the fingertips, getting some of that wonderful lateral flexion, a movement that our spines can make. Got it. Side bending. One more time on each side. We did quite a bit of this in Cardio Flow last Friday. I'm feeling the reverberations, still reverberating of that. And then coming back, I'm just going to bring my arms loosely out to the side, maybe walk my feet back a little bit, and I'm taking a little twist to the left and right. Just very gently pointing my heart to various favorite things around me in my space. Things that bring me joy. I might lock on to a thing or two as I do my twists. And when you feel like you've found one or two things, you could give yourself a hug, opposite arm on top, if you remember which, and tucking the chin, taking an easy breath in and letting it go. And releasing the arms. I'm grabbing onto my chair. One of the most important aspects of being able to balance is having a strong core. So we're going to work the core a little bit here, and I'm going to step my feet in and out. So I'm just stepping my feet in and out, and I'm trying not to rock from side to side too much. I might have to just naturally rock from side to side a little bit. Stepping my legs out and in, and if this causes any discomfort in the hip joints, you can modify it or skip it. We will do our hip stretch at the end of class, so working towards warming up the muscles first, and then when we stretch, the muscles are a little more responsive to our stretch if they have been activated through movement. Walking in, walking out. One more time. Good. And then let's go ahead and stretch that right leg out, straight in front. I want to point and flex and point and flex. So I'm warming up my ankles, my toes, my calves, my shins, and then I might take a circle or two, and you can see the knee joint and the muscles around the knee are being used, and then I'll switch sides. Lifting the left leg out, pointing and flexing, right? Modify this for you. If you're standing, you can still move the ankle, still point and flex, still make a circle. Beautiful. And then I'll take a moment just to connect with my feet. In fact, I might look down. We'll do this when we're standing as well, but let's take a moment to really connect with the foundations of our balance, the feet. Some of us have issues with the feet, and some of us can't feel parts of our feet. So looking down, I have this layer of awareness. I'm going to press my big toes into the earth. And maybe lift the little toes and see which little toes are responsive today. Switching it up, the little toes press, the big toes lift, maybe. And I'm working towards just independent movement of my toes, but some of them are they move together, like the middle and the second toes. Maybe one more time. Good. And then I'm going to come up onto my tiptoes while I'm sitting. And then up onto my heels, pick the toes up. So I'm rocking my feet, massaging the bottoms of my feet, getting myself ready to do this when we come to stand in a moment, if that's in my practice today. All right, and then we'll do a little visualization here. I'm at the very edge of my chair, and I'm going to lift my left leg out, and I'm going to close my eyes and feel my center, where my center is. And maybe I can imagine that along with my right leg and the legs of my chair, there is a pole going straight down into the earth from my center. And that pole is connected to my core. And I'm staying lifted through that core and releasing and switching legs. Staying lifted by that imaginary pole that's going into my core. And releasing. And it could be useful to call upon the image of that flamingo during that exercise as well. So option here to come to stand. I'm not in any hurry to do so. I'm going to come to stand, make sure I have no clutter around me if I am choosing to do so. I'm going to personally turn my AC temperature down a little bit. It's getting kind of hot in here. So adjusting your space. Alrighty. Getting my phone ready so we can time our flamingo pose in a little while, so that we can see how long 10 seconds is. But let's get a little more warmed up. So I've got my hand on my chair. I'm coming up onto my tiptoes and releasing back down. And remember how we individuated the toes. So you can use the power of your mind to really infuse your toes with awareness and grippiness. Imagine you're holding on to a ball with your feet or something like that as you come up. You got it. Beautiful. I want to get as high as I can. And incidentally, flamingos can get about 5 feet tall. And they can live for 30 years. Maybe you want to test whether or not you can do these tiptoe floats without support. Could be one or both arms. Beautiful. And many of us have been practicing this since the inception of our chair yoga classes in May 2021. 2021, that's a long time from now. But I can see the improvement. I see some of you who used to hold on, no longer holding on, which is like, wow, amazing, great job. One more. And of course, we don't always have to be improving. We can just be maintaining, and that is a cause for celebration. One more float, landing gently. And we'll take a slight bend to the knees. I'm going to bring my hips back. If you have knee issues, maybe this is a softer bend or no bend at all. And I'm going to turn on my glute muscles. So I'm isometrically pushing my feet apart, and I can really feel the strength here. If this hurts your low back, if your low back feels tender here, pull the belly towards the spine a little bit. My torso's upright. And then maybe I bring one or both arms straight out in front for my chair pose. Also sometimes called awkward pose. And I think you could probably understand why. It gets awkward after a little while. But we're using all these muscles that we need for things like balance, for getting up out of a chair, for walking up steps. And then we're coming out of it and we're taking a downward dog. So bringing my hands on a table or chair. It's so funny, Brenda, your background image, I was like, she's just a tiny little person with a huge table. That's funny. So we're stretching out the backs of our legs in our downward dog. Welcoming you, Joanne. So glad you could make it today. Getting a little stretch here. And then we'll do a very quick warrior one. So right foot forward, left foot at an angle. I'm coming up, I'm sinking into my right knee, getting a really nice stretch for the front of my left hip. If you feel wobbly here, walk the right foot to the right. So you've got a really wide base. My torso is upright. If I feel comfortable taking my hand or hands off the chair, I could bring my hands to heart center and remember that Waldenstrom's community I am a part of. Finding my breath. So strong. Walden warriors. And then we'll come to our second pose, the pyramid pose. I've got a shorter stance, both legs are straight. I'm engaging my legs so they're working, my kneecaps lifting, and I'm taking a slow fold forward. Doesn't matter how far you go. It's up to you and your body where you feel that sort of stretch point on the right leg, back of the right leg. And just a caution to take good care of your neck by tucking the chin. You've got it. Really nice, Joe. Coming up nice and slow, I'll step my left foot forward, bring my right foot back at an angle, bend into my left leg, and again, nice wide base equals a balanced foundation. So you could walk the left foot to the left. And maybe if you feel comfortable, you could take one or both hands up to the heart, right? However you want to practice warrior one arms. It's fine by me, keeping the torso upright, feeling that core keeping you balanced. Finding one more breath. And then we'll come out of it, shortening the stance, straightening the legs, both legs working as we lean forward towards our pyramid. Hands can be on the chair in front of you, hands could be on the hips, hands could be behind you. Tucking that chin, taking care of the neck. Finding a few easy breaths. I am here, I am present, taking care of myself. Good, and then we'll walk ourselves back up. And I'm just going to walk it out. Opposite arm, opposite leg, slow or fast, up to you. Opposite arm, opposite leg. What if I were to slow that down? Opposite arm, opposite leg. And that means I'm balancing on one leg a little bit longer. Something about being in motion and doing this makes it easier. When we try to hold still in our balance poses and become rigid, the balance becomes much harder. So we're going to practice peaceful balancing. Let's go ahead and take a wider stance. We'll do one more set of side bends after some hip circles, and then we'll get to our famed flamingo pose. So just getting warmed up. This could feel good on your back. This could feel good if you experience hip issues or sciatica issues. Coming back the other direction. If anything causes you discomfort or pain, stop immediately. That old saying, no pain, no gain, we just throw that right out the window. That's very good, Allison. Thank you for taking care of yourself. All right, side bending. Can do it seated, can do it standing. I've got the right arm reaching, and I'm going to let the left arm be really loose and hangy and swingy. Oh, I needed that. Coming back, left arm lift, right arm is relaxed, and you can dangle that right arm. Oh, I love doing this with you. One more time. Being away in Montana was great, and I needed the break. But it's so funny when you come back and you realize how much you love what you're doing. It's just right there. There you go. All right. So now we're going to practice our flamingo pose standing on one leg, being a flamboyance of flamingos, which is the plural noun for flamingo in a group. So I'm going to start with my weight in the right foot and take a little bendy bounce. And all this is lifting the opposite leg up and holding that off the ground. Right? So we're going to do a brief one on each side, and then we'll do a 10-second hold. So first, let's just sort of see how it feels. I'm looking towards finding my edge and kind of softening my gaze. So I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing what's below, what's to the sides, what's above, this whole sphere of my peripheral vision. And then we're hopping right out of it, kicking it out. So just a short visit on each side, and then we'll hold it longer. Little bendy bounce, weight in the left foot, pick up the right leg as far as you like. Turn on all those glute muscles, those core muscles, feeling that pole of core support, drilling down into the earth. And releasing, kicking it out. All right, so I'm going to set my timer. We're going to try 10 seconds of holding. If you fall out of it, that's no problem. Just come right back to it. If you need to hold on the whole time, that's no problem either. So starting in the right leg now. Finding your flamingo pose on the right side. Hands can do whatever feels good. 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that was 10 seconds. Most of you stayed there. And we're going to try the other side. So weight in the left foot. And 1, 2, 3, go for 10 seconds. This could feel different on this side. Maybe you hold on, maybe you don't. 9 and 10. That's 10, so coming out of that. And just walking it out, maybe I take a sip. And I'm going to do one more longer hold. Ideally, I want to work up to holding this pose for a minute at a time. And I tried this today earlier on my back deck during my morning yoga practice. Well, I know I can do it, but can I do it? And so I turned on my timer. And a minute really is a long time. You really feel it. And I think a minute is actually too long for us today. So how about we try 30 seconds? How does that sound? 30 seconds, and you can come out of it. You can switch sides. If you have knee issues, if you have hip joint issues, maybe you stop at 20 seconds. So I'll give you the 20-second mark and the 30-second mark. And again, please take good care of yourself. So starting in the right foot. 1, 2, 3, go. You can hold on, you can come in and out of it, you can sit down, you can visualize your inner flamingo who expends less muscle effort standing on one leg than she does on 2 legs. She can even fall asleep. That's 20 seconds. Fall asleep standing on one leg. 27, 28, 29, 30. Awesome job, guys. So let's go ahead and reset for the other side. Again, maybe you're sitting and practicing this internally, mentally visualizing it, getting ready to 1, 2, 3, go. Balancing on that left leg, holding on, not holding on. Finding a little bit of peace within, softening, letting the wobble show up, falling in it, in and out of it. That's 20 seconds. You're doing great. "27, 28, 29, 30. Awesome job, guys. Walk it out, kick it out, and then we're going to come to sit. Coming to sit and doing a little bit of stretching here. If you're not already there, we could take that right ankle over the left knee. Take a moment, massage the lower leg, massage the foot, tap the foot. Thank your feet for carrying you thus far. 77 years. So it's so amazing when you think about just the body is a miracle, isn't it? I think I've had this big toe for 77 years. For some of you are saying you're 77 this month. Really an incredible thing. So I'm going to take this into my hip stretch. I'm leading with my heart, not my chin, and finding the amount of sensation that feels right for me. This is something you could do on the floor as well, or on your bed, lying on the back and hugging the knee in if that would feel good. It's a really nice way to address problems like sciatica. Coming up to sit, we cross the knee over, and I'm taking that little twist to the right, rotating the spine. It could be a really gentle twist, but I'm using my core muscles to put some pressure on my organs, on my spine. And then when I come back to center, all that blood flows freely, and I can take a moment to just massage my belly, clockwise direction, getting the digestive juices flowing. Taking a big breath into my belly. And then we'll switch with that left ankle over the right knee, if that would feel okay. Take a moment to give a little healing touch, whether that's the bottom of the foot or the shin or the knee. Just thanking this left foot for its service. We'll grab on to the shin or what's available, leaning forward to whatever degree feels safe. Softening the shoulders, softening the jaw. Not going to push through pain or discomfort here. Good. We're coming up, crossing the knee over. Big breath in, get tall, and twist left. Exhaling all the air out. So I get taller on my in-breath, and I might twist deeper or use a little more muscular effort on my exhalations. Coming back to center, all of that blood flowing back into the organs. I could take one final stretch, and then I will share a little bit of singing bowl with you. So get into a comfortable posture. And give me the thumbs up, you can hear that. All right, so we're finding a seat upon the earth. Take a moment to get comfortable here. Feel your feet resting. Feel your seat resting. Now is the time to do nothing. In doing nothing, I am doing something. I am bringing my body back into a state of balance. muscles to rest, allowing my joints to rest. The blood flowing through my entire body several times over during the course of this little rest period. Turning my attention inward, I can sense my breath flowing in and out. I am alive. Breathing in, I am aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. You can say those words inwardly to yourself as a meditation. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, very good. Coming back into this room, into this space with all of my flamboyance of flamingos, I could take my hands to heart center and feel the tendrils of connection that we share, that we've created over years of practice, or even if we just came to this one class. You're part of our community. Finding the breath and closing our session with the sound of one Om and 3 Shantis for peace. You could listen, you could join in, you could create another sound. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanking you so much for your practice today, my friends. Namaste. I hope to see you soon. We will have a sound meditation on Friday. I'm so excited. We haven't had one of these in a while. And that will be all the bowls, the chimes, and some healing chants. And all you need to do is show up, sit back and relax, and just let the sound vibration wash over you. So I'll provide you with the information in our follow-up email.